It's time for another Dirt Daily, and today's Dirt Daily is presented by Bestop. Bestop is one of the companies that's helped support my channel. You've probably seen it in a bunch of the other videos that I've done. Bestop is 70 years old, and Bestop makes soft tops for Jeeps, Broncos, old open-top Land Cruisers, Suzuki Samurais, plus the Bestop family has a whole bunch of other businesses like Baja Designs and S-Pod, Tuffy Security. They also make Soft Topper, which covers the back of pickup trucks. And today we are going to talk about the top on my two-door JL because Bestop reached out to me and they said, hey, we have a brand new top for two-door Jeep JLs. Well, if you follow the channel, you know that like a year ago, I just put a brand new top on my two-door JL that I call NewbSock. And I was like, I already have a new top. And they said, well, we have a new top that is better than your current new top. And I was like, how can it be better? I like this top. And they're like, no, you will like the new one even more than the new one. I mean, you'll like the new one more than the new one. So today, I'm going to put the new top on my Jeep. But I'm not going to do an install video because one, I already did that. I put a top on this Jeep recently and shot a whole video about that. And two, if you go to Bestop's website and you click on the link, which I actually will put the link in the description, they have a great video on how to install this. Like all the steps are laid out perfect. The guys did it really good. It's probably installed by their engineers or sales guys, but they shot a really good video. So me doing a video about the step-by-step is not really going to be very useful. Well, I mean, it'll be useful, but I think there's a better video out there already. What I am going to do though is point out a few things about this top, which is the TrekTop. And then once I have the new top on, which is the TrekTop Glide, I'll show you some differences between the two. Bestop also offers a half cab top. So you could actually make your two-door into like a little pickup truck and then have like a covered back tonneau cover and then just a cover over the front two seats, which is kind of a neat idea. In fact, they also make a they probably make 5 different tops for the two-door JL. They have the TrekTop, which is the slant back style like you see here. They have the half cab, which is like the little pickup truck. They have the new TrekTop Glide, which is what I'm going to put on, and I'll show you why it's different and better as far as Bestop's concerned. And they also have the Sunrider. So if you have a hard top, they have a section that just covers right above the driver and passenger seat that is easily flip openable. So instead of taking the Freedom panels off and trying to store those, you just flip open the Sunrider. Plus, Bestop actually makes the factory top for JL. So they make a lot of different tops just for the two-door. So, and then they make even more tops for the four-door because there's a much bigger market there for the four-door. I don't really have any complaints about this top. I've had great luck with it. Maybe I have 2 complaints, and one of those complaints is just my own personal aesthetic, and the other complaint is something that has been kind of the bane of soft tops for ages on Jeeps. But I do know that the new top, this new TrekTop Glide, fixes that complaint. So I'm going to show you what I like about this, what I don't like about this, and then we will come back once I have the new top on, and I will show you what's different and better about the new top for NewbSock. One of my favorite features on this top, well, there's 2. One of them is these 2 pockets. Right above your head are 2 little mesh pockets, and they're super handy. Like the factory top doesn't have that, and I don't know why. The only issue is it does, if you put stuff up there, it will get really hot, like in the summertime when the sun's beating down on the top. But I've put stickers up here, I've put toll passes, sunglasses, anything that you need handy, a sandwich, maybe a banana. It's like, I don't know why the factory top doesn't have that. I think that's pretty trick and pretty simple. The other thing is just how easy you can go from having the top closed. You just fold down your mirrors, undo these 2 clips, and then you have open top above the driver and passenger. it doesn't fold back over the back seats as easily, but I don't have a back seat. My dogs ride back there in a dog bed, so they can be in the shade while I can sit up front and open this up. My girlfriend loves driving with the top off. I don't like to take the whole top off because I want to make sure the dogs don't jump out, but this is like a great in-between setting, so you can easily drive and have this open, wind in your hair feeling, but you don't have to put the whole top down. And then if you want, you just reach back, grab it, and clip these guys back in. Now, if it's raining or you're getting cold or whatever, it's easy to close back up. Pretty simple. I really like that feature on this top. Now, a feature that I'm less thrilled about is the slant back styling. It just doesn't, I don't like it as much as I like the factory squared off styling of the factory soft top. And I don't know why, I just like that aesthetic doesn't do it for me. Probably partly because I have a tire carrier on the back and it looks like it's kind of hanging out back here all alone, where the slant back leaves all this empty space in here. The new top that I'm putting on also has the slant back style, so I don't hate it so much that I'm like, I'm not gonna put that top on, but I think that I just appreciate the factory style, really squared off look of the factory soft top. I don't know why Bestop doesn't offer that squared off top. They only offer the slant back style, unless you have the factory top, which is a Bestop part as well. They just don't make an aftermarket version. And besides that, the only other complaint that I have with this top is a complaint that almost everybody has with soft tops, and that's the zippers. These zippers are brand new and they're already a little bit chunky, but that's kind of the way that Jeep tops have been forever. You can get some lubricant from Bestop to make them smoother. You can put stuff on these zippers to make it easier to open and close. But I just kind of found that I don't even open the back window. I just open the back door and load things underneath here. If the dog's in there, he just climbs in without this opening. Groceries underneath this cooler. That's a little bit of a pain because you kind of have to go under and then up to get into the cooler. So that is one complaint I have with this style. But that's one of the cool benefits of the new TrekTop Glide is you no longer have zippers, which can jam. I feel like that's kind of a minor complaint because Jeeps have had soft tops that have had zippers for ages. And honestly, like this top is so much better than the soft tops of CJs, 7s, YJs, like all the old soft tops. Like they just don't compare to how good this top is. And the funny thing is that Bestop has even made the new top better than this top. So it's kind of a minor complaint, but I don't feel like it's right for me to say this thing's the best top ever, even though it is a best top, because there are things that I would change about it. I would like that more squared off look, and I would like to get rid of zippers. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of zippers. We'll still have the slant back though. So the reason for the new top versus the TrekTop is the fact that when you have all the windows removed, you cannot get the people in the back seat out of the shade. They're always going to be covered up by this roof panel. You can open up this front section like I showed you before, but only the front driver and passenger will be in the sun or under the stars at night, where the people in the back seat, if you have a back seat, will always have this panel above their heads. You can remove all the windows around them, but not that panel above their heads, unless you actually disassemble the whole top and take it off the Jeep. Where the new top, the TrekTop Glide, allows you to fold this back further and everybody can be under the sun or stars. So I can see that as a complaint, especially if you run a back seat and you haul people back there. I don't. My dogs ride back here. I like having them in the shade, so it was never really a concern of mine, but I am interested to see how the new top compares to this one, because I do know that they remove those zippers on the back. So my next step is to completely disassemble this whole top, take it off, and then put the new top on it. Well, bam! This is the new top. This is the TrekTop Glide. The one I just took off is the TrekTop. So to keep them separate in our minds, I'm just gonna call this one the Glide. The Glide is, from the exterior view, it looks identical to the TrekTop. It has the slant back in the back, it has tinted windows, it has the same high caliber fabric, and they actually have two fabrics. This is the higher end fabric. But this top is about $400 more expensive than the one we just removed. But it also has some features that the other ones does not have. Most of those features I really like. Some of those features, well, let's just go over the ones that I like to start with. In the back. So the rear flap is much easier to remove than the one with the zippers. You have a little bit of Velcro here, and then you peel out this bottom panel. It just has a flap that folds over into like a groove, and then the side has the same thing. It's just this hard plastic that feeds into this kind of V-notch plastic, and you do that on both sides, and then you grab the bottom and you kind of roll it up, and it's open. Super simple. Way easier than zippers. Zippers have been around for ages, but the zippers on the soft tops always seem to have problems. They get dirt in them from the trail, and then they don't slide up and down. They get dirty, they crack, one breaks off. You lose a tooth, and then the thing's all jim-jangled. But this style is way better. In fact, this is the same type of enclosure that the factory soft top that Bestop also makes for Jeep uses this same style. So I really dig that. And then to remove this window completely, it just slides out the side. I'm not gonna show you the whole install. Like I said before, Bestop has a great video online where some of their engineers do the install step by step. What I did was I printed out the instructions, I turned on the video, and I would go through each step. I would look at the instructions, I would watch the video, then I'd come out and do that step. And then I'd repeat that over and over and over again. So if you have a cell phone with Wi-Fi in your garage and you just follow along the video and follow along the instructions, it's pretty idiot proof. I mean, I put it on, so it's pretty idiot proof. Then to close this back up, you flip this over into that groove, you fold this down in, you put this little tab down, there's a little bit of Velcro hook and loop, as the engineer guys call it, on the sides, and then you fold this side over, fold the bottom down in, and the rear is closed. Pretty nice, pretty simple. So that's one thing that I really enjoy. I really think that this type of opening and closing is much nicer than on the top that I just removed. Zippers have been around on Jeep tops for ages. I get it. Probably less expensive than doing this style, but this is way easier to use. Now, let's show you some other things. Very first thing I noticed, remember the little pockets in the top that I really appreciated, really enjoyed in the TrekTop? The Glide does not have those. I don't understand why they did not leave that in the design. I feel like that is a useful feature. Everybody loves pockets. Ask your wife or girlfriend if she likes pockets to put her stuff in her dresses or her shorts or whatever she's wearing. She's gonna love pockets. We all, guys, wear shorts with tons of pockets, telephones, pocket knives, sunglasses, wallets. Like, why would you remove a useful feature like the pockets? So that's kind of a bummer that they took that away on the more expensive top. Here's the other thing. Just like the TrekTop, when you undo these two latches, you can easily open up the top. In fact, it's spring loaded and it will flip right open. And if you have people that ride in the back seat, now they are open as well. They have that open top feel. So whether it's kids in the back seat, or you're out in the sun at the beach, or under the stars on a night run, it's nice to have this all open all the way back. However, the part that I haven't figured out, and maybe there's something I'm missing, which wouldn't surprise me, is when I'm driving my Jeep with the TrekTop, I can pull up to a stoplight, stop sign, undo the two latches and throw this open. Drive along, and then in the time I get to another stoplight, I can reach back and grab it and close it, put the two latches and closed. This one, I don't think I can close it while I'm in my seat with my seatbelt on. I feel like there should be a way to do it. There is an arm back here that if I can get a hold of it, all right, it is possible. Not necessarily as easy as the TrekTop. It's easier to open, and it opens more of the top, but it's harder to close. I think for my purposes, the way I use the Jeep, I don't have a back seat. It's usually, like I said, my dogs ride back there. I don't mind if they stay in the shade. So I like the TrekTop where just the front Sunrider section opens up. This TrekTop Glide opens up further, which is better if you have more people in your Jeep, like your two-door, but it's more difficult to close. So, and maybe there's something I'm missing there. I'm gonna go on a four-wheeling trip with the folks from Bestop and try to ask them if there's a fix that I'm missing. But for now, I feel like I wish that this newer top had both the pockets and an easier close. Or I wish that the TrekTop, the one that I just removed, would have the same back window as the Glide, where it has that kind of hard plastic clip into the V-notch and is much easier to open and close. So overall, I think it's one of those situations where this top, $400 more expensive, and it has features that are better than the other top, but I kind of need a top that's in between the two, like one that has the pockets, has the Sunrider front flip section, but it also has the rear window of this version. So kind of a half and half of both. So you think you have to decide, do you use the back seat for people? Then you probably want the Glide. Do you not have a back seat and the only thing back there is coolers, tools, dogs, camping gear? Then you might be happier with the TrekTop because it's easier to open and close that. But then you're stuck with zippers. So, and zippers aren't terrible. They're just not as convenient as this. So there's one more thing that I'm gonna do to this Jeep that's Bestop oriented before I take it on my next off-road trip. I am going to remove my hard doors for my upcoming off-road trip. This will A, reduce weight, B, reduce the chance that it gets damaged when I'm rock crawling, and C, I really kind of want like a half door for trail wheeling so I can see out better. So I wasn't able to get my hands on any metal half doors from Jeep, and if you don't know, you can only get the half doors when you order them with the Jeep. You can't buy them through Mopar currently. So it makes it kind of inconvenient if you ever want to add half doors down the road. If you want to think you're ever going to want half doors and you're ordering a Jeep, just order them at the time of order. That being said, I did find half doors from Bestop. These are the black diamond fabric instead of the twill, so they're not going to match perfectly, but they have the half door upper and lower, and what that'll do is it'll allow me to remove the door upper, just have the door lower, and I can put the door upper in the back so that when I'm four-wheeling, I can have a lot more visibility. Or I can remove the doors completely, disassemble them, put them in the back, and I can have complete open door feel when you're Jeeping, which is pretty much the way you should be Jeeping, like with no doors at all. Now, to remove the door, it's pretty simple. There's a little clip right here. It's this little white clip that you can just barely see. And you flip this plug up and undo the plug. Then the door is unplugged. This door doesn't have power windows, but it does tell the Jeep if the doors are on or closed. Then there's a little loop on this webbing, and you undo that, and then the whole door swings open. Underneath the hinges, there are fasteners that go up into the bottom of the hinges. I've already removed those, and then you just simply grab the door and walk away with it. Don't forget to put that hard plastic piece back on right there at your kick panel, and then you can grab your new door lowers. They will slide right in. So that's how I'll probably be wheeling on the trail if I run half doors at all. And then to drive to the trail, you can grab these door uppers. They slide right in, and then there's a Velcro seal right through the middle here that helps hold them down. And that's how the doors will look when you're running down the highway. The doors are easy to remove, easy to disassemble. You can run them as a half door or take the whole thing off, stash it in the back of the Jeep, and you can have that no doors feeling. That is what makes Jeep so cool. I am gonna pack up the Jeep and hit the road. I'm headed out to the Rubicon with the folks from Bestop and Jeep Jamboree. But when I get back, I will give you an update on what I think of the TrekTop Glide.
Okay, for you, I recommend kind of staying right here and kind of get that at an angle. Follow him. Yep. There you go.
So we just made it up Cadillac Hill. It's a little pucker factor if you're going up the hill and it's off camber, you can't see much, but no problem. You can lock front and rear diffs and get right up it. We had a lot of rain last night, so things are slippery, but Gladiator's doing really well and the sun's peeking through. Should be a good day.
doing crawl and talk. Give me some drama.
Luckily, no drama yet. Just making our way up this slow and steady.
Perfect.
Woo!
Want to introduce yourself real fast?
I'm Jake with Bestop. That's all you get.
Perfect, perfect. We're doing crawl talk. Everyone said a little something about this.
About crawling.
Yeah.
The name of the game is to keep all your tires on the ground, and you don't have to push the button to lock the lockers. And if you feel a tire spinning, just turn the wheel a little or back up and change your line a little. Sometimes you need the lockers because the tire's going to lift or the tire's on something with no traction. But I haven't turned the lockers on yet this morning, so I feel like this part of the trail is pretty good. Especially the nice thing is when you have a two-door, you can kind of weave and find a lot more lines versus a big Gladiator pickup truck.
Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's not Ted or Jake. I'm Fred. Name your next kid Fred.
Sorry.
I am back from the Rubicon. We ran this Rubicon trip with Bestop and Jeep Jamboree USA. This was supposed to be the trip that Bestop gave away to a winner that had a drawing last year, and somebody won a trip to run the Rubicon. Unfortunately, at the last minute, the winner was not able to make the trip, but we decided we were going to go anyways, and we actually we're going to make a pretty cool video of the whole adventure, which will be coming out soon. But I am back now. The TrekTop Glide top did great. I really like that kind of flap and groove rear window for opening up the back when we got to camp. It's much easier to get to the cooler, get to all your camping gear. So that is definitely an upgrade over the older TrekTop style with the zippers. One thing that, I don't know why I didn't put this together before I left on the trip, but the soft doors do not have side view mirrors. I already put the hard doors back on. And I drove this Jeep up to the Rubicon, ran the trail, and came back. And I didn't really think about it until I was on the road and I looked to merge onto a highway and I was like, I don't have mirrors. Why did I not think of this? So that is definitely an upgrade that I will add to those doors. There's actually kind of a metal panel right in this corner of the front corner of the door, and I think that'll be an easy place to drill a hole and add some side mirrors. I have some really simple side mirrors that are on my Toyota rock crawler, and I think I could use the same thing. That might be even off a motorcycle, but anything just to help you merging into other lanes. And also when I'm four-wheeling, I like having a mirror that I can watch the back tire. So if you're like rock crawling over something and that tire needs to skirt around a big rock or tree stump, it's nice to have a mirror. But I think it would be easy to put on those soft doors so that in the future I can have them. It was a good trip. The Jeep did great. It was a long drive up there. It was about 110 degrees on the day I was driving up there, but I had the top to keep me in the shade, and I actually had the AC in this little Jeep pumping, and it kept it pretty comfortable for the whole drive up there. Once we were on the trail, pretty good weather the whole time. We were expecting it to be super hot, but it was a great trip. Unfortunately, the winter didn't get to go, but we will have a video on all of that in the future. Overall, pretty stoked. I like this top. The one thing that I mentioned before is it's not the easiest to grab when it's all the way opened. But I have some ideas, maybe like a strap or some paracord or something that I can reach back and grab that to more easily close it. So I don't think this will be the last time you see this top. I like it. I like how the windows go into it. I just need to figure out a quicker, easier closure. Opening's super easy. It's the closing part that's a little bit wonky. Overall, I think it's pretty good. If you want to run the Rubicon, check out Jeep Jamboree USA. It's the easiest way to mark off this trail off your bucket list. They guide you through the trail. They have spotters at every obstacle. They feed you. They help you get in and out. If there's major carnage, they help fix your Jeep and get you back on the trail. We went in on a Friday. We were back out by Sunday midday, and Saturday was a whole day at the Rubicon Springs where we got to hang out and swim in this river and go for hikes, and they feed you great food. So I know a lot of people will just get in their Jeep and go run the Rubicon, no problem. They don't have any qualms about doing it. But I know there's also people that just bought a brand new Wrangler, a 392 or a 4xe, and they want to do this. They want to mark this off their list. They want to get the little badge, but they don't know where to start. And Jeep Jamboree USA is a great organization that not only does the Rubicon, but they do trips all over America. And they kind of, to put it bluntly, they hold your hand and they help you get through and get started. But once your feet are wet, then you're going to be in it to win it. So check it out, Jeep Jamboree USA. It's a good trip and it sells out pretty quick. I think that you just need to watch the calendar and get on the list before it's sold out next year for 2025. So that's it for this Dirt Daily. Thanks for tuning in. I really dig this new top on the Jeep. I think it looks really good and I think it worked great all weekend. We did have a torrential thunderstorm, hail when we were in camp, and I have camera gear and camping gear and computer and stuff like that in the back of my Jeep, and the top kept it all dry, which is really the job of the top, is to protect your stuff while it's in there. So overall, great trip, and we will see you guys next time.